Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso. We're bringing it back to the kitchen. Time for some more cooking inspiration. And one of the contributing chefs in the cookbook, Oink, Richard Bosman, joins us in the kitchen to show us how to make the most delicious chorizo and prawn kebabs recipe. Oh, yes. Richard, so good to have you here. And of course, Billy, you're still hanging around, making sure that we're bringing all these recipes to life.
No, it's great.
But we're in good hands because, Richard, you are, I believe, the master of the art of... What's the word you taught me?
Charcuterie.
Charcuterie, which means what, basically? What is charcuterie?
It's about curing meat.
Oh, okay, cool.
Thousands of years old. It's a practice that was used to preserve meat.
Yeah.
Using salt and drying it out.
Wow.
In this country, we have a tradition of biltong, but in the Mediterranean, they would use a lot of pork products and make things like parma ham and pancetta and bacon and chorizo from Spain.
Richard is a very, very important man to have in the meat world, and certainly the guy you want to be learning and taking some inspiration from. This recipe is exciting. Let's get on with it.
Right.
Richard is the master.
Yeah, bro.
He's the master.
That's it.
Thank you. I'll take your word for it. We're going to start off, and one of obviously the key ingredients is going to be chorizo. There is a recipe on how to make your own chorizo in the book. It's my own cooking chorizo recipe.
Oh, wow.
Our intellectual property that we're giving to you if you buy the book.
No
terms and conditions
there are really
apply.
no T's and C's to print out.
Exactly.
You're accepting only the world of goodness. Okay, great. So what other recipes or ingredients have you got?
We've got some beautiful prawns that we're going to be using combined with the chorizo and following through on the flavors. Chorizos are very strongly flavored. It's got a lot of chili and spices and paprika and garlic. We've got some red peppers and some onion that we're going to be using on the kebabs just to give it a little bit of texture and additional flavors. We're going to use a little bit of smoked paprika to dress it at the end.
I love it. Let's
and
go.
It's as simple as that.
Let us go.
So we're gonna
look at that. A man of meat curing. These are the tools of the trade.
Indeed, you've got to have a good sharp knife. You've got to have a good sharp knife. And I'm going to cut this. We want 2 to 3 centimeter thick pieces.
Okay. And I mean, a part of what you're really good at, I suppose, is being able to handle any sort of knife in the kitchen. I mean, this is...
You have to, but it's got to be sharp. And you've got to look after them, never put them in the dishwasher, clean them when you've finished using them.
Yeah. Okay.
And we're going to start off with a piece of chorizo, which we're going to thread on like that.
Billy, while you're doing that and we're watching you do that, Billy, maybe you can take me through the journey of really compiling all of these inspiring recipes and putting them together. You have had so many, a wealth of kitchen experience. Choosing which recipes to include and which ones not to include must have been a difficult one for you.
Well, it was very difficult, but it was also a lot of fun. And it was one of those COVID stories, actually, that sort of came out. When we started with the book, it was just when lockdown happened. And we thought, oh my gosh, we are going to be in such trouble now. Because how are we going to put this book together? We can't move out of our houses. But it actually, with the reverse happened. We had a whole group of people, pork lovers from Linker Meats in Joburg, who were part of a WhatsApp group, and they cooked every day over that lockdown, the most amazing meals. And we just said to the guys, just show us what you got. Show us, show us your metal. Give us any recipe, everything. And we had an enormous amount of fantastic, wonderful recipes that came out of that process. And if you go through the book, you'll see some of the recipes have people's names on it. You'll see there's Jason's pork cheeks, there's Renata, there's, there's different people. And those came out of that sort of COVID camping, cooking in your own home type of thing. That's one of the ways we got to build up this book.
Yeah, and there really are some incredible stories to tell that come out of this experience, this sort of experience. I mean, I'm seeing Melanie there as well's recipe. This is great, and it seems very straightforward and simple enough. I don't know if it's because you're handling it, Richard, and you make everything look so easy, but this looks good, because all you're doing now is you've got the chorizo there, and then you've got the prawn, and then, of course, the red pepper, back to the chorizo. Okay, so it's pretty...
The key in this restaurant, Richard, is in restaurant. In this recipe.
Will feel like a restaurant.
Yeah, well, the way Richard does it. The key of this recipe is the quality of the ingredients. I mean, and Richard's products are unbelievable. They, across the board, it's the best charcuterie you can get. And I mean, that chorizo, I buy it from Richard all the time off his app, and it's fantastic. It's delicious.
And then we've got to fry it.
Yeah.
Right, then we've got to fry it, we're going to cook it over here. And just to come back to the flavor wheel that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
When you make the chorizo, if you do it at home, you've got the recipe. You don't have to stick to those specific ingredients. You can make it without the chili. If you wanted to do a milder, sweeter version of it, you could just do a plain pork sausage, you know, with nutmeg and sage or any kinds of other ingredients. You don't have to stick.
I love that. You know, I love that on the book you've got, like, for example, you tell us what how many people the recipe will feed or serve. Prep time, 3 hours, the amount of time you will need from start to finish. Cook time, 10 to 15. Skill level as well, which becomes important. So when the person is going through the book, they can go, oh, my skill level, skilled. This one's for me. This is really stunning. Well done. So while that's going, this is what the final product looks like over there. Yes, it's right there, and it looks really, really, really good.
We've got something for you to try.
Ready to get into. This looks so good. But listen, we are giving you at home the chance to win one of 3 Oink cookbook giveaways. You're going to want to have this book in your kitchen. Head on over to our Facebook page and comment on the Oink competition post. Tell us what your favorite recipe is. We've done 2 this morning. And of course, use that hashtag Expresso Show. The T's and C's, can find those on our site, expressoshow.com. I mean, you know what I'm trying to do now. And I'm not going to sing, don't worry. I won't sing.
Why not? Come on.
No, because we've got actual musicians over there. I think this tastes so good.
Thank you.
It's delicious.
It's also about the quality of the pork, coming back to your earlier comment. I mean, we try and do as little as we can. We source really good pigs from farmers that breed specifically for us. They're all free range, and it comes through in the final product.
Richard Bosman, you are a superstar. Billy, such a superstar. Thank you so much. Expressoshow.com for the recipe. Time for some music now. My stomach is so full.